going to be looking at, by request by the way, the Shapeshifting Detective, a brand new release for the Nintendo Switch, and it is a full motion video game which was sort of had a brief period of popularity in the 90s. You might recognize games such as Night Trap and Double Switch, and more recently The Bunker. So let's take a look at this game. And let's take a peek here. Adjust the mic level a little bit here, the audio level. Alright, so these full motion video games like this, let's see here, let me get set up here so I can properly do this. These full motion video games are really the product of obviously the video, right? It's a story-driven sort of vehicle. There's usually not a ton of interactivity. You're really here for the storyline and the characters, and just to see what kind of interesting stuff they might do with it. Let's take a peek at what's in this settings here. Volume, brightness, subtitles. Okay, so not a whole lot going on here. Well, let's just jump right on in. The Shapeshifting Detective. Sounds like an Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators book, right? Those of you who are old like me know what that means. To throw in some old, if not irrelevant, humor. Alright. So, we're starting up with some decent load times here. There we go. Audio looks a little hot. Let me turn that down a bit.
You're listening to Radio August.
That's not me.
Nights with Poe and Monroe.
Oh, that's me, Monroe.
And I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for infamous 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
Well, nobody I recognize yet from the cast of characters.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
I think I went to high school with that guy. Alright, so it looks like I'm looking for some controls here, and it looks like we have pretty much some standard interrogative stuff.
Exactly. Rewind.
I must not have answered quick enough or something. Let me see here. That was an interesting beginning.
You're listening to Radio August.
Perhaps I hit the delete button.
With Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock.
Skip this. Nope.
Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline.
What about minus? No, minus doesn't do anything.
It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
So I'm going to give developers a little clue. Don't make wraparound navigation.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
Alright, so I assume red is selected.
Exactly. Rewind.
I don't know how much more I can do with this. Okay, well, we're off to a great start here. Am I missing something different in these intros? Maybe that's what I'm looking for here. Maybe there's some sort of a clue.
Radio August.
No. Okay, maybe
Dark
there's
nights with
Checking
Poe
some other
and
controls
Monroe.
here.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update.
So far, greatest $10
August
ever
police are
spent on the
appealing for
eShop.
information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
So maybe I don't do anything. Keep my mouth shut. Alright. Maybe I'll just sit here for a minute. Are you happy? I'm keeping my mouth shut. Nothing. Staring at me with those bug eyes. Sam, sorry about the bug eyes thing. So maybe by not saying anything, that's the right answer. Let's see what we got here. Oh, you have to hold down. Alright.
You know why you're here, don't you?
Yeah, to watch the intro 4 or 5 times apparently.
Then humor me. The dead girl. And this. What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that this time? It's a rhetorical question. You're going to a town called August. Find Chief DuPont. He's gonna think you're someone else. This person. This is who you are now. Understood? Understood? Splendid. If someone so much as sniffs that you're different, you'll be deprecated. Deprecated.
I've never been deprecated
We
before.
expect you to use your ability. Just don't get caught. And never, ever change into a child.
In brighter news, August resident Mia French is celebrating the return of her missing pooch, Barley. The 8-month-old Basset Hound puppy was found outside Daryl's Chicken and Ribs.
And that's 5 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Chicken
I'm
and
Violet.
ribs.
Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules.
Hi,
In
Violet.
particular, no shoes in the guest house.
What about shorts and underwear?
Now, how long are you staying for? That's fine. It's yours for as long as you want it.
Oh,
There's
right.
not many visitors of late. Perhaps the murder will bring some tourists in. It's just you and some tarot readers at the moment. It's deathly quiet. Yes, the murder. You haven't spoken to the chief yet, have you? Chief DuPont. He's the one who booked the room for you. You look lost. You should probably go and speak to the chief. Your room is just down the hall, last on the left. It has its own back door. The chief said that's the way you'd like it.
I love back doors.
Just finishing. You don't believe? That sounded serious. You must have a serious job to do. Hi, I'm Bronwyn. Pleased to meet you, Sam. If you'd like a reading. So, what's your question, Sam? Oh. The Page of Cups. It suggests I'm innocent of whatever it is I'm being accused of. I'm gonna
Really?
see
You got
a lot
that
more
all
than
out of that
what I
one
said.
card, huh?
I'm in room 1 and that's down the hall. Rain's in 2, Lexi's in 3. And which room are you in, Sam?
I'm in 1, 2, and 3, baby.
Good. We're neighbors. Just knock if you need me.
I turn slowly as if I'm a little off balance. Sorry, I don't smoke. I look him in the face. He looks rough. Sweating, even though it's after midnight.
Shifting locked. I don't know what that means, but let's find out.
Combined takes control of my body and pours through it. The wild exhilaration of the beast sets my senses on fire, even though I'm riding pillion. The hunter freezes. My hand seize him with strength many times my own.
Yeah,
My right
okay.
hand crushes his larynx as the left reaches the knife from his, dislocating his elbow. Blood gushes from his mouth and nose.
Sounds
I
like
turn
my
his head
last
away
stand-up
to
meeting.
avoid the spray and feel his neck break under my hand. The beast drinks.
Good, you got my message. Chief
Wow, that was
Inspector
quick.
DuPont.
Took me 20
Wasn't
minutes
sure
to
you
look in
came,
my room.
but I suppose you're between jobs? Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam, that's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw, 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled. I know who did it, but I need proof. It's tarot readers. Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up. It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs. To be honest, I thought she'd probably been smoking something, and that's why I didn't take it seriously.
Maybe she was smoking your hair.
Because things, I don't have enough on her. That's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it?
Nope. Alright, I'll try.
Okay. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them. You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out, I'll help you. You don't get that. There's no badge or gun, just a hope and a promise. Come and find me when you're settled.
Again, much
It's a
like my
second chance
stand-up
Sunday
meeting.
for you, Sam. Don't blow it.
Oh, here we go. So I wonder what this trash can means. Maybe just to get rid of it. Maybe get rid of that option. I don't know.
Do I have an alibi for last night? Do I? Okay. I was here, and there are video monitors that will prove it. Thanks for ruling me out, genius. Board here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady. Where are you going with this, Sam? What's she told you? She told you she's taking pills, didn't she? Let me handle Violet. She didn't kill anyone. Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating? Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating? What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard. It was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself. Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th, at approximately 9 p.m, according to the coroner, we got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m. In her bedroom. She was naked. Strangled.
That's better. Oh,
No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at.
There was
Yeah, well, if there
one
was no
thing,
sex
but it's
involved.
strictly between you and me. Dorota had a gold coin in her mouth. I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this. It's the one thing only the killer will know.
We're talking an actual gold coin, or is that some sort of innuendo?
Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating?
Why does that menu item continue to be there? I don't know. Maybe it's a glitch.
After
Back to the
Mother
guest
died,
house.
Penn started putting on weight. The pasty roll of fat
Oh,
that
here we go.
bulged over the waist of her jeans secretly pleased her. It was her own little fat roll. Look how big
Ew.
she'd grown. Wasn't she looking well? Part of her wanted to keep it, but she couldn't, not with how it mocked her. See, it said. Mother was right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
assume
okay.
you've been to see Chief DuPont already. It's the strangest thing. I honestly don't remember. But I imagine I was here or getting groceries somewhere.
I'm really curious about that.
I've
Delete.
driven by it, never actually been in it. I take clozapine. I think they're for anxiety. I'm a very anxious person. I don't know, Dr. Sam, you tell me. They're tarot readers. I'm thinking of asking them to leave, actually. Because they may have killed someone. It's not great for my reputation, is it? Stay at Violet's, the home of killers and hobos. I'm sorry, it's a derogatory word, isn't it? But strange people seem to gravitate towards this guest house, Sam. I'll get the sign changed.
I kind of dig that lisp. What do you think, Alex? I know I've got some viewers here.
Not really. I'm sure she was a precious lamb, though. Yes, a lamb. Young. Innocent. Lambs get slaughtered, though, don't they?
That's a good hashtag, killers and hobos.
Nice, yes, that's a good description. Actually, I thought she was a bit slutty, to be honest.
All right.
Sorry. I'm gossiping. I don't want
by
to
all
talk
means.
ill of the dead. Ask her boyfriend.
Oh, you lost me a boyfriend.
Oscar lives at the vicarage next to the church. Don't tell him I sent you, though. I'm sure he's sick of seeing people already.
Cry anymore.
I guess we're done with her.
Or fail anymore. She just had to do as she was told.
Sam, is it? I'm sensing you're not here for a reading. In my room, reading. I found a trashy romance novel under the bed. I'm assuming it's Violet's. It's all swooning heroines and brooding vampire Casanovas. Thank God Lexi saved me. She came to my room to chat for a little while. That was around 9, I think. You can ask her. I said the book was trashy. Look at this place. If her guest house is anything to go by, Violet's the opposite of trashy. We saw it in the cards, not images, feelings, impressions. Tarot can be very powerful.
Obviously.
Not these cards. They only tell us what they want us to know. Chief DuPont thinks I did it. I'm hoping you'll convince him otherwise. All I'm asking is that you dig a little deeper than the chief. I had nothing to do with Dorota's death. We saw danger in the cards and we tried to stop it. Trust me, Sam, we're on the same team.
I didn't know where she came from. I was driving
All right.
along.
You must be a new guest. Or you're burglaring us. I'm Rain, by the way.
Creepy dude.
Pleased to meet you, Sam. Enjoy your stay. The hot water goes off at 9, by the way. So it's cold showers from there on in. It really bugs me. I was in my room. Praying, actually. I don't believe in God, but I was still praying. It didn't work. My prayer that the girl would be safe. I didn't know her. I know she was called Dorota Shaw. She was young, had red hair, a talented musician.
Do you believe that she killed Buckwheat?
No, not at all. You're completely barking up the wrong tree there. Spoken like the true killer, posing as a detective, trying to frame someone else for the murder. We did a reading, a group reading, actually, with a special tarot deck. You get it piecemeal, not everything in one reading.
Of course not.
The last one we did showed a young woman being murdered.
Well,
Young, talented, probably red-headed.
it's very specific.
Mercury, it's not exactly from here. With a normal tarot deck, you'd have the question, so you'd be the querent. With Mercury, it gives you the question and the answer. The cards themselves kind of change. It's a special deck. I don't have it at the moment. Bronwyn has it.
Sounded to remind me that the keys were still in the ignition.
Wonder if she'll have anything to say now. Oh yeah,
Mercury.
cool.
Sure. I'll just get it. It feels a bit sacrilegious just spreading it out to show you. It
All right.
doesn't really answer questions, it more asks them. Do you want it to ask you a question, Sam?
No.
There's nothing particularly special about it, apart from where it's from, what it does, and how it behaves.
Oh, is that all?
Support. the
So
other
helpful.
Outstretched in front of me, as if ready to catch myself when I...
Hi, Sam, is
Hello.
it? Come
Yes.
on in, make yourself at home. Mi casa es su casa. Come on. I was in my room all night with Bronwyn. We were painting our nails. No, I mean, yeah, I've already cleaned it off.
Guilty.
She's like my big sister, so pretty well.
Do you believe that she killed Buckwheat?
No. The cards told us to. Well, the cards of rain. Tarot gives us a rough direction and he narrows it down with some astrological jiggery pokery. He's basically a walking esoteric library. And if that sounds dull, let me reassure you, it is. No? Well, yeah. Well, no. We have a job to do. I didn't say job. I said job. Okay. We make a cheese obelisk, a chob, and depending on the shape of that chob, we get different answers to questions. No, you don't. I don't know anyone in this town, except for Bronwyn and Rain, obviously, and Violet, and the Chief, and now you. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. Good old-fashioned fortune-telling. Well, kind of. We drew a card each and smushed them all together. Do you know what the most dangerous tarot card is? You've done your research. The happy squirrel was vague and mysterious, but not evil. The Five of Swords. I think so anyway. There's nothing more dangerous than someone taking whatever they want, no matter the cost. Yeah, I did. Rain got the Knight of Wands, that's Dorota, and Bronwyn got the Ten of Swords, which is, well, you know, swords in general are bad.
She was gone. The blacktop rippled in front of me. It turned into waves that grew into a deeper...
Nothing more to see there.
like satin bed sheets. I was driving on... I stopped. Bed. Phone clenched tightly in my hand. Sir? Where were you driving?
Find somewhere safe to transition. You're not a superhero.
Ah. Transition, okay.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn.
The kitchen to the garage and flipped on the light.
Hmm.
I fell down in the doorway and cried. My car was there.
Ron, are you okay?
I'm not okay. I'm okay.
Good. It's not our fault this stuff happens. We're just the messengers.
Interesting. Kind of a neat wrinkle.
We've seen a lot of stuff.
Are you asking me or telling me? Yes, we've seen a lot of stuff. You seem weird. Just go and regroup or something, then come back and make me feel better about myself.
The dream. But my stomach dropped as I opened the door.
Bron, something doesn't feel right. I don't know what exactly, but it's not right.
Thoughts on Dorota?
Well, it's hard to say with just one victim. Musical talent, red hair. If there's another, there will be a pattern. Do you think it's another right?
A right?
As in the same thing we were chasing after in Birmingham? I suppose it doesn't really matter. Just have to try and stop it.
Stop it? Birmingham?
The Traveller? Dead girls? Ring any bells?
Traveller?
Bron, you're acting weird. Are you still you? Stop freaking me out.
Subject, what do you think it is?
Well,
I hope we're not being too much trouble.
the chief that Dorota would be murdered afterwards. I'd have run for sure.
You strike me as someone braver than that. Why would I run?
You're prime suspect, aren't you? You look strong enough to strangle another woman. Even if you're innocent, a jury would probably convict you.
Even if I'm innocent, you look strong enough to strangle another woman too. You look...
Well, if you can't pay for your rooms, you might just find out.
Why would people, in ancient times, why might people wear this?
Would they tie it around themselves, perhaps? Attach it to some...
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
Oh, that's not what I
Hi.
meant to do.
I'm Bronwyn. I'm Bronwyn.
Go back to her.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
You're listening to Radio August.
Hello, Violet. Is everything okay? Ignore the mess. I was just going to tidy it up.
Did you have a pleasant evening last night?
Great, thanks. The room's really lovely.
But you weren't in this room, were you? I didn't see you around but
Oh no, was I sleepwalking again? I haven't done that since... for ages. I didn't come into your room, did I? I'm so sorry. I don't know why I do that. It only seems to happen when there's a lot of bad energy floating around. Robin says I just stand there and stare. I didn't catch you, not sleeping, did I?
Pinpricks of white, the lights of the city. It was cold.
You don't trust me, do you, Violet? Is it because I read tarot? Why don't you let me pull a card for you?
No, thank you. Okay.
Great. What do you want to know about?
The murder. My love life.
I think the tarot wants to ask a different question, but... The devil. You're letting yourself be manipulated by someone who isn't good for you. Or maybe it means you're having fantastic sex. You might
Great.
like playing the victim.
Did you sleep well last night?
Yes, thank you.
I didn't see you yesterday evening.
I stayed in my room. You can ask Lexi. That reminds me, I think I found a book of yours. It's called He Came Through the Shadows.
What makes you think it's mine?
Your name's written on the inside cover.
The door gave way from the stumbling push, and there was a long expanse of the room. Footsteps.
Mrs. Gallagher, an unexpected pleasure.
How long?
In town? I really don't know. Until the tarot tells us to leave, or you kick us out, obviously.
How did you know Dorota was going to die? Why do you think the police suspect?
Now that's a very good question. Logically speaking, you'd assume all three of us were in on it. Or none of us.
Pockets led straight into its mind. A cold, dark tunnel, and at the bottom a mirage. Those teeth.
What's going on, Violet? Is everything okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Well, what are you doing here then? You said you'd help me. I just need you to keep an eye on the guests and let me know if you see anything strange. So, if you're here, who's doing that?
With its camouflage. A human mind to wear, like a shell for a hermit crab. I agreed to help the bag lady with its disguise. Yes.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Lexi.
It's unsettling if it had eyes, and were less of a corpse. But the end.
Something's weird, isn't it? Everyone seems strange today.
How are you?
Do you think Bronwyn might get falsely imprisoned? It happens all the time.
Are you looking to take over?
No. I'm just worried.
Age, drugs, and street life took their toll on her market value.
Hello, Lexi. What can I do for you?
Please don't ask us to leave.
Have you been speaking to Sam? You're safe for the minute.
That's...
If one of your crew did murder Dorota, you can't really stay here, can you?
The police want alibis from everyone for last night.
Well, I don't have one. I literally can't remember what I was doing.
In human perception, the entity was blind to the weakness of its present disguise, but had other...
What's up, Lexi? I'm sensing something's on your mind.
I'm worried about our alibi.
Don't worry about that. We don't have anything to hide. You're just fine.
Do you think Sam suspects?
Maybe. But it'll be difficult to prove.
Longer. Involuntary gags, reflexive, struggling. As a worm wriggled around my tongue and throat, coated with mucus, probed.
Hello, I'm Rain.
Hello, I'm Violet.
That's not what I meant to do, damn it.
I'm Violet.
I think I get this figured out by now.
Hello, I'm Rain.
I refused. Perhaps starting with my brain.
Yeah.
And was curious about starting with feet.
Interesting.
Have you
She's
met the
not
new
around.
detective yet? We're basically under 24-hour surveillance now.
Do you think Sam's onto us?
Onto what exactly?
The real reason we're here?
Sam's not a mind reader. At least I don't think so. Just try not to let anything slip.
Not these ones, the worm had to be told as people strolled past on the sidewalk.
Let me try that again.
Talking with coworkers in asset management. I looked into the eye.
Rain, I'm so worried about Bronwyn. What are we going to do?
Why are you worried about Bronwyn?
The chief thinks she killed Dorota.
Maybe she did kill Dorota.
That's not even funny, Rain. Bronwyn's the least murdery person we know. Okay, let's say she did do it. What possible reason could she have for killing Dorota?
Psychopathic tendencies? Crime of passion?
Maybe. Maybe Bronwyn and Dorota were secretly lovers, and Bronwyn found out that Dorota was seeing someone else and killed her in a jealous fit of rage. Or maybe it's just another one of your twisted late night fantasies, in which case, leave me out of it.
Which may have been precisely the point. How about something to eat, I said. Or the...
She's still gone? Yep.
Both together. A jingle of...
Alright, who haven't I got to be yet? Just the chief, right?
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Chief DuPont.
Polished for panhandling, but the worm didn't care.
Who knows whether you've made the right decision or not, Claude?
How's Bronwyn been?
Overly nice. She's covering her tracks well if she has anything to hide.
What was it I asked you to do again?
You just told me to report back to you if I noticed anything suspicious. Good grief, Claude. You're a bit young to be losing your marbles already.
What were you doing last night?
Claude, we've been through this. I honestly don't remember. I checked my diary and there's no entry, so I was probably here, as always.
How can you not?
I don't know. Which is exactly what I said in my statement. Don't try and get me to contradict myself.
Second, before George was gone.
Chief DuPont, what a pleasant surprise. I think we've covered just about everything twice over, but if you think I'm hiding something...
Who are you really?
Does it bother you, Chief DuPont, knowing there are things in this world that aren't black and white? You don't know what to file me under, and that makes you uncomfortable. Or perhaps you've already made up your mind about me. Why don't you tell me who you think I am?
You're a con artist. You're a murderer.
You're gonna need to do some more research, Chief. That's just not true.
It's perhaps a Chinese...
Good evening, Chief DuPont.
Dorota's family. What does the tarot say about them?
I can do a reading, if you want. It's the Five of Cups. It talks about loss and dealing with that loss. I don't think you need a tarot reader to interpret that one.
Bronwyn never be...
Not since I've met her. She's a lawful good type character, if you play D&D.
Nice.
Lexi ever been in trouble with the police?
No. Not to my knowledge. She's sweet and innocent. Or haven't you picked up on that yet?
Eva. Oh, wow. That's what can happen.
Oh, Chief Inspector, you gave me a shock. What is it? What have I done?
Tell me.
She's an Aquarius, her favourite colour is green. What else do you need to know?
Is she your leader?
Jail? What for? I haven't done anything wrong.
Aiding and abetting a criminal.
I'll aim and abet Bronwyn to the day I die, but she's not a criminal.
Why are you... What were you...
Nothing. I mean, I was here all night. This cat's on her. Bron can vouch for me.
Why are you here in August?
Well, it's not for the nightlife, I can tell you that. This is where the cards told us to go. I guess you could call it destiny.
You know, this game's kind of linear, but it's still kind of interesting. I'm sucked into it at this point.
There isn't any. And sometimes a girl needs a party.
Perhaps represented as danger of certain people, people that are to them, and never falling, and then never hitting.
All right,
hitting,
so I think I've been
falling
see
and never
everybody.
hitting,
I've been everybody.
things together.
Well, you weren't. There are different elements here that I'd like to discuss. So, circus, it's massive and it's a crazy.
I like the style. I like the way
out
they
of
cut
control.
scenes and stuff.
Now the tightrope. Not that you would know, Poe, obviously, or maybe you do.
I hardly ever. I mean, it's 6 o'clock, and you're listening to Radio August. Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw are appealing to the community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe.
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August for updates.
I heard Dorota Shaw was due to play this weekend.
At the Tulip Festival?
Indeed. I understand why they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet. That's
Oh,
6 o'clock
right.
with Poe and Monroe.
All right, well, I think we're going to stop here. I think this is a good spot. One chapter of the story. I don't know how many there are. But, yeah, an interesting game overall. A little different than other full-motion video games that I've played, which is not a bad thing. I think it's interesting, and it's a $10 buy right now, or $10 and change, so it seems like a good time to get into it. I do believe it's available on other platforms as well, if you don't have a Switch, but I imagine this looks great handheld. It probably plays just fine handheld, and you don't need to worry about, Joy-Con controls or anything like that. It looks pretty straightforward. Well, listen, hope you enjoyed looking at it, and I think I'm going to keep investigating and see what I can find. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and thanks for watching.